morning, Dota fans, and welcome back to Starladder Season 10 coverage. It's the off day, but we're playing catch-up because so many games have been rescheduled. You want some fries with that ketchup, Coddle Guy?
Boogie.
Boogie. Today we're going to see Boogie and the rest of Fnatic face off against Compass Gaming. Then they'll be facing off against Team HR.
We got a bit of a roster change, though. This is a bit interesting. Where's Hani? Hani is not a part of the Fnatic group, but I guess he did release recently on the Twitter sphere about...
Well, you know, let's read this verbatim, the Hani teasing. Sometimes friendship might end up being your biggest obstacle, and you turn blind for what is needed to be done.
Ouch.
That's deep. That's allegorical.
That's L-Deep style. So we're not obviously sure exactly what it means. It's something enough that he's not going to be playing with his Fnatic crew today, as well as Come With Me. So small roster changes here. It looks like Jerix and Valix have been, or Valix are standing in today. So Jerix, you know, everyone knows him as the, relatively popular streamer who is proficient with Earth Spirit.
So, AKA the Earth Spirit guy. That's
I hope he knows Earth Spirit's not in Captain's mode, though.
Yeah.
You know, he's overall, though, outside of Earth Spirit, he's a solid player. So
very individually skilled.
So we'll see. We'll see here as Fnatic and Compass Gaming are going to go toe to toe here. And well, as the draft does lead off here, we got to get rid of that Terrorblade, get rid of that Ember Spirit, and they pick up the Brewmaster as a first valuable pick for Compass Gaming, and they go into their second one. And Faceless Void is going to be picked up by Fnatic.
Yeah, still very open-ended. Now, I wonder, Hani's not drafting. Of course, it is Jerax doing the drafting. Will we see a Magnus ban?
I knew you were going to make
Will we see the Magnus ban? Because I'm going to be a little sad if this is the end of the Magnus hype train for Fnatic.
We'll see, though. It could be just part of the Fnatic franchise and in their contract that we make sure we get rid of that Magnus off the field. But here we go. Nature's Prophet, second pickup here for Compass Gaming. Faceless Void. If they'd like to get Skywrath Mage, damn it, they picked it up before I could say it. I hate that feeling.
The classic duo. This is so 6.81, Coddle Guy.
Yeah, this is peanut butter and jelly if I ever saw it together. You know, what makes it so valuable is Faceless Void just being so good as he is. Put him in that off lane, get those levels up. One of the prime initiators and just kind of overall great counter initiators. You drop the big bad bubble, and Skywrath Mage with that huge range of Mystic Flare could just kind of drop his own little personal hammer right on top of whatever target he wants, and just the heavy burst is so good. Plus, the benefit of how good Skywrath Mage is against a Brewmaster with that silence. Fnatic are off to a fantastic start of this draft.
Yeah, absolutely. Nature's Prophet will be able to do a little bit of split pushing, move around the lanes, but it is definitely a good start for Fnatic. Now, where do we go from here? Compass Gaming have banned out the Terrorblade and the Earth Spirit. You know, yesterday watching the Canada Cup, Coddle Guy, my horizons were broadened. Apparently, Jungle Terrorblade is a thing. Pretty solid.
It can be a thing.
Yeah.
Not in this world, though. Not in that game. But no, it can be done. I guess they were trying to run it as a 4 position, but you can get away with it more than likely in pub play. But in these games, these players, as experienced as they are, they'll get to their lane setup. They'll look around and be like, guys, where's Terrorblade? Well, he's not in lane. He's probably in the jungle. And as weak as he is, let's just go in the jungle, find him, push him over, and he'll probably die.
You hit him with one spell, and he's getting low. It's a problem.
It is a problem indeed. Yeah, let's also note out that currently for the standings between these two teams in Starladder Season 10, Fnatic kind of still could be in the mix here. They got a 5-5 record, so if they do win these games to come, they could eventually squeeze themselves into tiebreakers. For Compass Gaming, however, they are sporting a 6-7 record, so based on the amount of games they've already played, they are out of the running to make it to Kiev, but they put on a pretty good show yesterday.
Yes, they certainly did. They still have some difficult games to go. They'll have to play Empire, and they'll have to play Power Ranger. No, who are these teams? I don't know. Oh, Team Tinker. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah, they've got some big ones still to go. Virtus Pro also a team that'll probably give them a run for their money. So we'll see if they can do it. How is Compass looking? Where are they sitting right now? 6 and 7, so they are happily planted right in the middle of the group. So as we've talked about many a time, relegation, not really a big fear for them. So that's good news for KPG.
Oh, Lord. Compass Gaming have picked up a Naga Siren. We had some experience. I had 3 Naga Siren games yesterday.
Ding,
so
ding, ding, ding. We've got a winner.
We had 2 of them yesterday. Loda won both those games. One of them was a dramatic comeback against Hellraisers. And then during the Canada Cup, Ush picked it up. And I actually believe they did lose that game. So, you know, of course, we all have come to love Resident Sleeper, the Naga Siren and how it works. You know, building up into the late game, create that space, divert attention elsewhere, which I believe is where Nature's Prophet's going to come into play, and allow for the Naga Siren to really come into her final form. Hopefully 5 to 6 slotted, dishing out those Naga illusions and ripping apart your base.
Now, yesterday, didn't we see Compass Gaming play a Naga? I want to say we did.
Well, they played against Alliance, obviously.
And let's see. I want to say it was a support.
Quadruple header.
Yeah, they played a PSM Naga. So they're one of the good guys. They play support Naga, Coddle Guy.
You mean to tell me that I actually saw 4 Naga games then?
Yeah, but the support ones don't sting quite as much. You know, it's like
you're right. You're right. You're right. They did make it work, and they won that game. So you're right. I can't hate on it yet. We got a long draft ahead of us here, and this could very well still be a support Naga Siren, given they don't even have a support picked up yet.
Yes, and yesterday it was that crazy Slark that got out of control. That was the game where Afa Ninja, the Afro man, he went that Death Prophet that just got wrecked in the early stage, and then towards the end he made that sick recovery, and by the end it's 40 minutes in, and she's just knocking on your front door, and all of a sudden you don't have a living room anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like a 1-7 start for that Death Prophet, and somehow managed to pull the game back and just channel in the energy from all of their Compass Gaming fans, I suppose.
So
Fnatic, we got an Ogre McGee. He's picked up right now. The brawless wonder, as you say, I guess.
Pepperoni Man, he's here. He's ready to rock and roll, and we'll see where they put him. I still have a little bit of hope for the offlane Ogre, but it seems teams aren't so interested in it. The position 4 is where he's really been shining. We did get to see a couple of Ogre games yesterday. Some interesting builds. The Bloodstone into Aghanims. We saw a Force Staff. I guess that's.
I wasn't a big fan of the early Bloodstone kind of a pickup.
It just didn't seem to do anything.
No, Force Staff. That's where action happened. You know, obviously the benefit of that extra bit of initiation, not only for yourself, but you can also utilize it on your teammates, whether defensively or offensively. But yeah, the reason Ogre Magi, of course, why he's so popular now in this patch, he did get some nice sweet buffs right there. His HP regen was buffed up from a sweet, like, what, 0.25 up to a 2.25 dramatically. He already has such a high base armor. He comes out with 7 armor right out of the gate. That's absolutely absurd.
He is a rock.
Yeah, and then also, of course, when he gets level 6 and has that ×2 multiplier, it actually now triggers at 40% of the time instead of his usual, what, 30?
So, you know, fun fact, Ogre Magi was the source of inspiration for Simon and Garfunkel's I Am a Rock. Oh. Storm Spirit for Fnatic. If you recall, last time they picked Storm Spirit, it was a disaster. They got stuck in Pound Town.
It was Matumba Man, right?
Matumba Man Storm. He just couldn't get any momentum. He got like a 25-minute Orchid and was 1-5. They just ganked him. He had no space to gank, and it was really a disaster.
Really, to be honest, from what I've seen, Storm Spirit in this patch, I know he wasn't really adjusted a lot, but I guess teams and players have not had the best of luck with him, because I also have memories of Korok playing him, and that game didn't go well. You know, they always had a great, fantastic early laning phase, got some decent farm to start, but when it was at that point when you need to start snowballing and get the pickoffs, they just weren't there, and it looked like the opponents were ready for it.
Yeah, and looking at this, who does he pick off here? Who are the easy kills early on? Brewmaster, he's one tanky mother.
Nature's Prophet is like probably the primary counter for the Storm Spirit, especially if this Nature's Prophet considers going with that kind of Blink Maelstrom kind of a build, trying to hide away himself. Storm Spirit's right there to, you know, hunt him out, catch him, and quickly pick him out. And if it is a support Naga Siren, given that he can get a hold of her before the song goes off, that's not too bad of a target. And Jakiro can be relatively well.
5 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. There are some pickoffs that are possible here, but ooh, the Queen of Pain. This is a very NA Dota kind of draft, if you ask me. But it will be a Matumba Man Queen of Pain. Stand-in Valix here will take the Storm Spirit. Boogie, he'll grab the Ogre. Jerax on the Skywrath. which means Faceless Void will be left over for Trixie here.
More role switching.
Yeah, and that's usually a little bit tough to continually switch the roles back and forth like that. We did see Trixie playing off lane yesterday.
Yeah.
Or the day before.
But many people, including myself, felt Trixie was at his best when he played more of the safe lane, like played the core and kind of a carry, and we had Matumba Man playing in the mid lane. So it looks like we will have Matumba Man playing the mid lane in this one. A safe lane style Storm Spirit by Valix.
10 seconds remaining.
Valix.
Is that how it is?
That's the best. I mean,
Valix.
I don't know what sound the double A makes. We don't really have that in English so much.
I'll try my best. I don't want to lose it too much. We already have that problem with Boogie.
Yeah, it's an issue. Let's see here. Shoring there. Well, there we are.
All right, well, we get things underway here. On paper, well, I mean, this could have been in anticipation to maybe the old Fnatic draft, but the odds for this one, Fnatic up ahead 57% to Compass Gaming's 43%. So
that one could be a value bet. This is basically a different team here. Without Hani, Trixie is the only lone member of the classic Fnatic left.
So relatively 50-50 here in this kind of a matchup. Some early rotations coming out, but as we get started and underway.
All right, let's introduce some rosters here, Coddle Guy. Radiant side, we've got Team Fnatic, or some mixture of Fnatic. We've got Trixie. He'll be off lane on the Faceless Void. Here in the mid, it's Matumba Man playing on the Succubus, the Queen of Pain. And down bottom, it will be a tri-lane. Valix will be on the position 1 Storm Spirit. We'll have Jerax there stand-in on the support Skywrath Mage. And here on the Ogre Magi, we've got
Boogie.
Boogie.
Nice.
Or the proper pronunciation.
Boogie.
Let's try one more.
Wait.
Boogie.
Boogie.
Boogie. We'll both try our best to channel our inner Finn.
Also, worth a note, Jerax is actually sporting an autographed weapon here, autographed by Bruno.
Wow.
What a fan.
This is good stuff. This
All
is
right.
high quality.
Leading out for Dyer's side, we got Compass Gaming. They are struggling a bit. They don't have a chance on making it to Kiev, but they're still trying to put on a good show. Yesterday they did take down Alliance, but today they're trying to take it to Fnatic. Starting up here at the top lane, we got Godimer, Goddamn, playing your Naga Siren. Just behind, we got PSM. He's playing your Jakiro. Finishing out this tri-lane setup, we got Arts playing your Wraith King. In the mid lane, it's going to be Afro Ninja is going to be playing your Brewmaster. Finally, bottom, we got Goric playing your Nature's Prophet.
Good old Goric, the staple of the off lane. He loves this Nature's Prophet, and he's got some cool cosmetics. The Flower Staff of the Peacebringer, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I look for in a cosmetic.
Live long and prosper. No, that's Spock.
Live long and peaceful.
Yes.
Oh, man. Trixie, he's going to have some trouble up top. He's going to get harassed back by old Jackie here. First point in the dual breath, so a little bit of killing power if Void is not careful. Arts with his stun, and Naga, I doubt she got the net. Oh, hasn't skilled up anything yet, so hanging on to the net just in case Trixie does something goofy. They can try and punish this, and is this movement the goof that they're looking for? No, he'll back up just in the nick of time, but Trixie rolling the dice. He's got plenty of regeneration here, though, Dakota. 8 tangos and a salve to go with that stout shield.
Well, he does have the benefit of that time walk to get away from any sort of trouble. On the opposite side of the map for Goric, trying to hold his own as Nature's Prophet, he's going to be constantly zoned out by Jerax, but it's actually him trying to thwart any sort of pull camp action over here with these little mushroom-headed creatures. But it's on Skywrath Mage to do what he does best in zoning him back and not allow him to get anything going for himself.
That's where the Skywrath really shines. So safe lane farming Storm Spirit versus safe lane farming Wraith King. Up top, Trixie taking a lot of damage, and Alpha Ninja actually almost goes down in the mid lane. Him and Matumba Man had a little man up on each other, and they'll walk away with mutually low hit points.
Look at those wings on Queen of Pain. He gets low as he swims. I've never seen that kind of cosmetic. That's pretty nice looking right there. I don't know how the hell she expects to fly with those kind of wings, but regardless, she's making it work in the meantime. Matumba Man picking up more CS, 6 and 3. For him.
Trixie. He's going to get wrapped around on. He does have a time walk, so should be able to make it out of this one. But interesting to see him putting that first point in time lock. You'll often see these offlane Voids go for the backtrack, as it just make your life a little easier. Get some of that RNG on the field nice and early on.
I guess he's feeling pretty comfortable, like he won't get too much pressure on his side, and just kind of wants to go for a little bit of value, extra damage right there if possible.
Uproot and after them.
Even things we go here. Brew returns back to the lane. This forces Quap to step back and heal up on her own right, and Fnatic is going to go ahead and try to build some CS. He's second right now. 9-3, looking to go forward. We might see an immediate Blink Dagger build, or he could go for the standard Arcane's kind of a get up. Now, I've seen this time, you know, for some brews in the mid lane, they value the early point in Drunken Haze, depending on who you're going against. I think I like it against the Queen of Pain. You got to remember, even with just one level in it, it's almost like a coin flip's chance that she will miss her primary last hit. So it's very nice. Makes things a lot harder for Queen of Pain to get what she wants there, as she does get pissed off and throw that little dagger at her.
Yeah, 45% is pretty significant. And you don't think of Quap as like, oh, well, she's got all this burst damage, you're going to nuke her down. But against melee heroes, Quaps will at least get 1 point in the Shadow Strike, if not level it up primarily, because it does give you a nice harassing tool. And as you level it up, that range gets a little bit better also. So she'll get some value points in Scream of Pain, but most of her last hitting comes from the auto attack. And I agree with you, I do like the choice here. Up top, Tricks, you'll get initiated on once more. It's got him. He goes in for it. There's a liquid fire to tickle him down, and Trixie's running pretty low on regeneration. He's down to 2 tangos only.
There we go, mid lane. This is our first smoke rotation here with the combo of the Skywrath Mage and Ogre. They're looking to see if they can catch up the Brew, but it's actually conveniently about the 4-minute mark, so Brew's busy going to the top lane trying to get that rune. He's going to get a concussive shot and an arcane bolt to the backside here as he tries to retreat up to the north. It is going to be a bounty rune at the top, and that will be swiftly picked up there from Jarix at the bottom. It's an illusion, and already making his way there, it's Gorak who wants to grab it up.
Yep, he'll find some copies of himself and probably scoop back down bottom. He's found his level 3 Trixie, actually with slightly more experience, but still no value point in the backtrack. And now he has but 1 tango left. He'll have enough mana for 1 time walk, but this is where things start to get a little scary for Trixie. Arts is level 4, and he'll be a little bit manly under this tower if this Void is just not oh so careful. Looks like Arts is thinking about an early hand of Midas, has the Gloves of Haste. Could be going for power treads, but time will tell. Here we go, dive in the tower. Boogie's nearby in the tree line, but got him. He's going to get in position, will connect with the net, but Trixie still makes it back. Now the Nature's Prophet coming in. They'll go in onto Boogie. It's a tanky Ogre, but not tanky enough. First blood on the way, and there it is. Arts, he'll draw the bonus gold on the Wraith King, and on the position 1. That is great news for Compass Gaming.
Yeah, nice grab right there. They take the quick takedown of Ogre Magi, and they'll just boogie on away from that one as they reap the benefits of that quick first blood here. On the other side, though, space created here for Valix to pick up some extra farm for himself on your Storm Spirit, and he's got that Robe of Magi. He's going to go for the early and quick Orchid, and I like that choice a lot.
Now this will be a top tier 1 tower kill, it looks like. Lift will already come out. Down she goes. That'll refresh it. But the tower has fallen here at the 5-minute mark. Now this Wraith King, all of a sudden, he is one big daddy. He's essentially at the Midas. This is like a 6-minute Midas coming out here, Cattle Guy. And even though Storm Spirit is farming well in the bottom lane, I'm not so sure that he'll be able to keep up with the likes of this Wraith King. On top of that, Wraith King's just great against the Storm. You jump on him, you drop your mana pool, and he's coming right back to life. Half a Ninja, he'll try to TP home, and not tanky enough.
Not tanky enough indeed, and being level 5 and just so close to level 6 on the Brew, he's just not quite there to have that primal split, and well, it looks like Fnatic do a fantastic job taking him down before he does get a hold of that precious ultimate. But yeah, Wraith King not only good against your Storm Spirit, he's great against Faceless Void because of what? Faceless Void jumps in on a Wraith King, you're going to have to take him down twice. And, well, technically, unless you get Refresher, you only have 1 Chronosphere to work with. So look for that as he's going to continue to propel himself forward. And again, Gorak is going to control the bottom rune. It's going to be an Invis, and he'll use it to migrate towards his mid lane.
Top Trixie, man. He'll walk right into it, trying to leap some experience here, but gets hit with a dual breath, hit with a Riptide, and that'll repel him straight away. He buys another set of tangos. And so far, pretty much all of Trixie's gold is going the way of regeneration. Just boots, Stout Shield, and it's more of those little green babies.
He needs it, though. I mean, trying to get the best farm he possibly can and constantly getting zoned out, it's a hard life for him. For now, though, they're going to, from the low ground, try to leech up as much XP as he can, and we'll have to opt back. But he has to be cautious. There's no more tower here, so if they do pounce on him, he won't have the benefit of some rotations to come in from his team. Now, mid lane, Jarix is opting for the mid lane while Queen of Pain does return. This allows him to get a little bit of that sweet solo XP, building forward towards that level 6, because then we can eventually see the big 1-2 punch from your Faceless Void and Skywrath combo that we were talking about in that draft.
Yeah, Matumba Man's farm is just okay. 24 last hits. Kind of the same deal for the Brewmaster. It's been this kind of mutual, both of them just harassing each other nonstop, having to take trips back to the well, and they're both suffering for it. And looking at their inventories, not a hell of a lot to go around. Boots and bottles aplenty, but that's about it. Ninja at 1,100 gold, so he'll be working on that Blink Dagger, but still a good ways off. Bottom lane, Valix completes his power treads and has the double robes. So starting to come online a little bit, at least beefing up that mana pool. And maybe he will have a quick-timed Orchid after all. If he can get one by the 17-minute mark, maybe, just maybe, he can get that snowball rolling fast enough.
That's what they're banking on. I mean, just based on their draft, it's a very snowball, mid-game kind of a draft. Late game with only a Faceless Void, and already Faceless Void not getting the optimal amount of farm you'd like, they're going to run into some trouble. So look for them to try to get a hold of this game and not allow it to push too far past like the 30-minute mark, because then Wraith King's going to be able to take control of the whole game. Brewmaster as well is going to put up a big force. So harassment here on the mid lane on said Brew here, but no real damage on the tower. Matumba Man looking to try to be a little more confident. But bottom lane is where Fnatic really wants to get something done. There's your fortification going to be popped there from Compass Gaming. Rotations to come. They're second guessing staying in, and it's going to be his Royal Majesty who makes his great appearance. And, well, he is level 7, so does have the benefit of that reincarnation to go ahead and just go balls to the wall with his fighting style, and they get the deny. So props to Compass Gaming. Excellent early game start, I'd say, for them.
Yeah, great news. And usually you don't want to rotate your position 1 farmer as he gets stuck in this position where you can't farm so much, but they'll have plenty of space in the lane to rack up the last hits, and with that, Fnatic will smoke towards the mid. Ninja.
They want to get the silence off before he can primal split, and that's where it gets tricky, because the second they see a concussive shot, he might pull out the ultimate. Nope, they get the Agent Seal off. They're going to try to burst down, but here comes quick rotations. Can they bring him down quick enough? Oh, yes, they can. And even with Mr. PSM showing up now, I regret my decision. Hiding away in the trees to get away from this one.
Oh,
2 more rotations to come. Brew does have primal split. They got to get the hell out of there, and that's what they're trying to do. Oh, Storm Spirit caught out. Nice quick reaction with the Tree Eater, but it's not going to matter. Gorok still gets it with the right click now. The ensnare to fly out. Matumba Man, Queen of Pain. Could you blink away from trouble right now? Trying to find a good spot to go to. Getting body block right now, and then manages to jump to the high ground. Oh, the quick reaction sleep prevents her from getting away, and now they should be able to right click her down. Boom! Take down the Queen of Pain. That ends up being a 2-for-1 trade. Compass Gaming, man, they're looking pretty on point this one.
Ninja finds some recovery action as well. Finishes off Jerox in the tree line while we were watching that Quap get chased down. Great use of the Naga Siren ulti. Got him having his level 6 nice and early on, really coming in handy there and making that kill possible. So glancing at the graphs, it is KPG to start to move into the lead once more as Arts heads to the top lane and goes right back to farm. And Trixie did find some time to free farm during that excursion, so he at least has his power treads up now, which is good for Fnatic, but yeah, costly because it was a buyback on KPG. Maybe not the best net worth trade, but all in all, I think well worth it.
Some rotations here slowly forming from Compass Gaming to head towards this top lane. I'm sure the Brew is itching to use his primal split, so he'd love to make something happen up there, and there's your ping. Trixie might have to be cautious. Now, Trixie does have his Chronosphere available if he needs to use it defensively, and he might have to, because look at this from behind. You got him, who's invis, scouting it out, holding out maybe an ensnare. No, they're not going to commit. They make the audible play that it's just not worth it, so they decide to pull back. And, well, a game changer, as I said before, potentially is Jerox getting this level 6 on his Skywrath Mage and being able to benefit from that Chrono and Mystic Flare combo. Maybe if they can get a hold of someone, they can quickly burst them down and get a few kills on their side.
Yeah, definitely so. Valix down bottom. Does he have anything on the courier? No, he does not. So pretty close to his first Oblivion staff. And the great thing about Orchid is you can just pick it up at the side shops. You don't have to occupy the courier. You can share it with your team. And just one of those little things that makes a small difference. Ninja is at 1,400 gold, but oh, mid lane, he'll get jumped on. Silence, Mystic Flare to fly through. More than enough damage to bring him down, but Jerox, he'll fall shortly after as Nature's Prophet secures that one. Now Boogie stuck inside of the tree line, but no way to interrupt it. Naga had her little net on cooldown, and he will TP to safety. It's a 1-for-1, but support from Fnatic in exchange for the solo mid.
Oh, here we go. Got him. Ice Path to follow up actually slows down Trixie. Got him get away from this one. Stuck in his own Sprout, though. Blasted down with the Sonic Scream. And there you go. Killing spree. 1 for 3. They take down the Void, but they lose a couple others here. That's 3 for 1. All day, 6-6. We even back up, and it's time to call a timeout because what the hell did we just witness?
1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. We got to think about this. We got to digest it. It's important to note that Jerox also went down there at the very beginning. He came out. So it was technically a 2 for 3, but still a great trade for Fnatic, and they're right back in it.
What's important to note, though, man, Compass Gaming, they are just on it. They had a good, solid breakfast or something because every time a gank comes in, they are ready with the TPs and the rotations. They're making the audible calls. They don't want to hand anything over easy. easy for Fnatic. If Fnatic think they can ease on in there and get a quick, swift pick off on that Brewmaster, they're going to have to end up putting up with a couple of support reinforcements to come on in and make life difficult.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Now I'm curious what build Gorak ends up going for. He's got the double null talisman powered shreds. Will it be a blade mail kind of game? And well, that's always a fun question with this. It's all the rage with the cool kids these days on that Nature's
I don't understand it. It's get all that bling bling and then get that fancy blade mail vest, and then from there we can go for something, you know, that I guess would say more standard, like your Maelstrom, your Blink Dagger,
the standard bulldog, rat.
I think that's just what really utilizes Nature's Prophet and encompasses all of his great abilities. But you know what? I don't play the hero. What the hell do I know, right?
Yeah, Valix is starting to get some decent momentum. He's 0, 1, and 2, so hasn't found any solo kills, hasn't done anything too crazy, but he's got a solid amount of farm. Number 3 on net worth overall. This Wraith King is starting to pull ahead pretty quickly, though. Even though KPG are starting to take some questionable exchanges and their Brewmaster keeps getting picked off, that's just space created for their carry. And
he has a Midas. I mean, the farm is only going to get better. The farm and the XP is just going to get so nice. And I know he'd love to at least get level 11. You know, if you die once with that reincarnated level 1, you're going to be waiting a long-ass time for that cooldown. So before he gets too crazy as far as these engagements, I'd imagine he'd love to get a few more levels on his side.
Yeah, probably looking towards like a Blink Dagger Maelstrom kind of build on himself. It's a pretty standard style on the Wraith King. And maybe even a Blade Mail if they're so inclined. This is sort of an odd game for a Blade Mail. With some really fast fingers, you can return a lot of damage to the Queen of Pain as well as the Ogre, and even the Skywrath for that. So I think this is a decent Blade Mail game if they're confident in their abilities to predict when the burst will come out, but sometimes easier said than done.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Fnatic making their pressure towards this mid lane, but the same goes for Compass on the bottom. Ori with the Treants pulled out here. They're looking to push on forward this tier 1 at about half-life as it stands, and they're going to go for a trade. Mid lane, they pull out the fortification, making things a little trickier for Fnatic to try to get the last hit in, and actually they're going to rotate. A little bit of defense to come right now, and it's Art to lead out the front. Keep in mind, he does have the ultimate, and they do commit the Mystic Flare for it. So, His Majesty rises back from the grave, and he's ready to go at it one more time if needed, but that's not going to be the case. The tier 1 does fall on top, the tier 1 does fall on bottom.
What a team fight recap. Reincarnation, the only thing that made a difference. There was absolutely no change. That's good good stuff. The tower exchange did go in favor of KPG, though. They denied the mid-tier 1 and finished off the tower down bottom. It was Ninja that got the last hit on that Brewmaster. So they got a better trade on that front. Now they'll smoke up, head towards the mid. They want this Queen of Pain, but can they lock her down? The net flies through. That'll disjoint it as she blinks back, and she'll survive. Ninja going for the Ogre. He'll take it ×2 to the face, and instead they will just move into the tower. Of course, the Glip has reset. Matumba Man on the high ground. No ultimate available here. And that will make this defense a lot more difficult. Just Glyph it.
Making me nervous right there. But, it looks like these teams are starting to get into the habit of making sure they pop the Glyph for every tier 1 as it will be resetting. Yeah. Ooh, we almost had the opportunity to make a move on Mr. Ogre right there, but they couldn't quite get the ensnare out. And, well, they're going to have to push on forward. And, well, Fnatic, I think they would love to try and make some sort of engagement happen, especially on that Wraith King, considering how much of a core he is, how much farm he's already built for himself, and now with his reincarnation already on cooldown, it'd be very nice to grab. But look at this. Segue themselves over into the incredibly cramped Roche pit here. With the utility of that vampiric aura, plus the benefit of these Treants, it should be relatively easy for them to take down the Roche. We'll see if Fnatic look to contest.
No medallion, so certainly a potential to do it more quickly, but that's okay. Gorak will move into the mech on the Nature's Prophet here. And a great carrier for it this game, as he can just use that global presence to be in the right place at the right time. But, oh, Trixie! Chrono out on 2. Ninja will take the Mystic Flare, and that'll be enough to bring him down. Matumba's Man is there with the ultimate, but in comes Gotham from the backside. Will put him to sleep, isolates Trixie, and that'll make sense for the rest of his team to make it out, or not. Art, he'll still fall as Gotham on the run. Looks like he may take a stumble, and it's going to be a 3-0 outside of the Roche pit. Wow. As Fnatic just clean it up.
Very nice engagement from Fnatic. It almost looked briefly that Trixie might have put down a bad Chronosphere, but he quickly adjusts it to the south. They get their primary target, which is taking out the Brew before he can get the Primal split off, so they get that objective done. Then they turn their attention towards the Wraith King, and unfortunately Naga with the song, just the timing was off, and he couldn't get away, and then they punished the Naga. So huge team fight, probably the biggest team fight for Fnatic thus far in the game.
Yeah, now they don't get Roche after it, but still, just look at that gold graph. That's a 1,500 net worth swing and a huge experience lead. Kind of the biggest lead that we've seen in general this game. Now it goes the way of Fnatic, and some much-needed momentum. Another interesting thing to point out is they're going for what looks like double Orchid. Both Matumba Man and the Storm Spirit have the beginnings of an Orchid, and that is just not something you see too frequently.
Well, because normally that void is filled up by one hero only. You're only normally going to have just a Storm Spirit or just a Queen of Pain. They got two of these snowball kind of Orchid carrying heroes, and you know, they're banking on the fact that hopefully by 20 minutes, 25 minutes, they get those complete, and then they're just going to look for pickoffs left, right, and center.
Yeah, certainly. So now once more, KPG, they move into the Roche pit, and I actually like this play, because what is the last thing Fnatic will expect? Them to move into the Roche pit following that unsuccessful attempt moments prior. Also knowing the Chronosphere is on cooldown does make this a little bit less risky. Liquid Fire also makes things so much easier. Trixie scouting it out, his ultimate up in 10, but won't be there in time to stop the Roche. It will be the Aegis of the Immortal going to the Brewmaster. Trixie gets stunned up, or just gets crit down by Arts, and will scoot to safety. So a successful Roche this time around. And maybe Fnatic can get off an ultimate this time.
Yeah, he's been punished at least 3 times I've seen, but without getting his ultimate off.
Yeah,
so
1-4-0, dude. They've been all up on him.
Yeah, a rough life for a Brew indeed. And for the rest of Fnatic, they shuffle on through the opponent's jungle, scouting it out a bit further. But, you know, interesting that they didn't quite go for a heavy push, maybe on that top lane tier 2, knowing Compass Gaming were going for the Roche instead. But they have to hand it over. The Aegis is going to be picked up, and, well, it's going to be that much trickier to try to quickly take down the... Where is the Aegis? There it is. It's on Fnatic, so yeah, like you said, now he'll be able to have a second life for real.
Yeah, maybe there's a chance for this Brew. He'll also find his Blink Dagger, so now stands to reason that he'll get some more... Well, he has a positioning tool, so now can maybe get the jump instead of the other way around, at least every so often. And, ooh, are we going to see a fight break out? Jerax hasted up as Gorek TP's in, looking for initiation with the Sprout, but won't be able to find it. So, yeah, I do like the mech pick up on KPG. There is not one for Fnatic. So they're going for this very aggressive double Orchid, Mask of Madness. Let's do all the damage that we can, and I think mech is the perfect item here for KPG. Boogie! He gets caught inside of the Sprout. There's a nice path to follow up, and he'll just get stunned down. Manages to get off a couple of spells, but won't be enough to keep the Ogre alive.
Nope, certainly not, and he falls. Compass Gaming now can put their attention elsewhere. They all migrate towards this mid lane, maybe looking for a potential push here. The benefit of that Aegis, they can control the momentum at this point, and if they want to try to bring a fight their way, they can start pushing one of these towers and divert the attention towards them. And that would probably be a smart idea. You know, Storm Spirit and Queen of Pain have... Oh, no, as I say that, Queen of Pain has her Orchid now. But I was going to say it would be better for them if they can get a fight before they had all the utilized tools. But now Queen of Pain has the Orchid.
So does the Storm, actually. It's the double Orchid. And the parrot in the boat will drop
Trixie
it off.
bottom gets a nice Chronosphere scream. Catches across both of them. He wants to finish off. Got him, and we'll get it. Now they jump back. Ninja, remember, has the Aegis. So he's got to come back for a second life. And, oh, Gorek looking to rotate in. Can he catch anyone out with the Sprout? It will not matter. They should get away. No.
Oh, no. Ice Path still on cooldown. How unfortunate. It'll be an Aegis and a Naga for a Chronosphere, basically. Just a couple of ultimates, and once more, Fnatic come out on top.
Yeah, very nice for them. They get the swift takedown that they want. They recognize that they've got the Aegis. Uh-oh, return back fire, Mystic Flare. Oh, they quickly burst the hell out of that Jakiro. Silenced up Ninja, but still, they get a return kill on the support. The rest of them will make the retreat. Can they see him? Oh, almost got the Ray Fire Blast off, but oh, McGee manages to get his way out of those trees. Blink forward, Arts. They want more. Ray Fire Blast going to catch. There's your Primal Split. They are not going to allow this Ogre to get away for free. He must go down. We're going to make him pay, and they do. He falls. There's your Cyclone. Up on Queen of Pain. Can they lock her in place? No. She gets a swift blink away and will retreat. So 2 supports down on the side of Fnatic.
I mean, that's the first split he's been able to get off, and I think the Ogre might have been dead regardless. I don't know that was even really the best utilization of the Primal Split, and to be fair, Ninja just having no opportunities to use it. We saw him trying to cast it in that fight, and he got Orchided during that long cast point, and that was painful to watch. It really was.
Sometimes you just want to use Primal Split at some point. I guess you just got to really get it out there before risk maybe a counter initiation. You know, you don't really know where Trixie is at. You don't know what his cooldown is going to be like. Maybe you know, worry something's going to be coming your way. But I guess Ninja is no stranger. Oh!
Jerax, he gets crit to the face. That'll secure the kill there. Got him. Sets it up onto Trixie. There is a Chrono Sphere that's been used already, so they'll feel pretty safe hopping on top of him. Macropyre comes out. He goes down, but they lose their Brewmasters. He gets isolated by the Storm. These Orchids doing a lot of work right now as this Storm is just zip-zapping back and forth, and KPG will take the better of this exchange, but now the Reincarnation is utilized, and the rest of the fight will break out. Matumba Man off to the side, caught inside of the net. Doesn't have an ultimate for a few seconds. Ice Path flying through, but he will survive. Will be able to disjoint that last Liquid Fire flying through. Now Valix pressing forward, goes in onto Gorak, interrupts the TP with the Electric Vortex, and ends the dominating streak of the Prophet. Now Art stuck inside the Mystic Flare. It's Fnatic. They come out on top, and they take a very successful skirmish.
Big bloodbath happening there in the mid lane. And, you know, it was also before that point when they ended up trying to catch out Jarix the first time, and the Chronosphere defensively was used, but the Naga was not caught. That allowed the opportunity for her to pull out the Song and pretty much rendered Trixie useless with his own ultimate. So they quickly make him pay, take down the Faceless Void, which is probably one of their better targets to get. But then, yeah, as we saw right there, the rest of Fnatic crew sweep on through, quickly snowball through some of those heroes, and end up making at least break even, probably a slight edge towards Fnatic.
Now 14 to 11, 22 minutes in. Queen of Pain grabbing a lot of momentum here. Now number 1 on net worth, 2,600 gold following that Orchid pickup. And Storm Spirit, what's he got going on here? Is that really all the gold that he's got? He's got to have something hiding somewhere. No, okay, just Orchid and sitting on the power treads. Interesting he never did anything with that Ring of Protection.
Hey, the Ring of Protection did receive a buff. It's +3 armor now instead of +2.
Yeah, you know.
Maybe he's engaged.
Yeah, just
to Queen of Pain.
Yeah, just a casual ring. You know, you got to stay protected. Blink Dagger out on McGee, so now he's got a little bit of longer range for that 2x chance of the Fire Blast, and we'll also see an item picked up on the Wraith King. It's his Maelstrom, so very standard build on him. Still some hope for KPG, though. I think this Wraith King will eventually move towards critical mass and be very hard to deal with, but so far this kind of glass cannon-y double Orchid is just giving them so much utility in these team fights that heroes of KPG are just constantly finding themselves scratching their head. How come I can't do any damage? And it's so good that now even the Prophet will move into an Orchid of his own.
Yeah. So Orchid Gaming, for real right now, is top lane. Compass Gaming, getting a push happening for themselves right here. Arts does not have his Reincarnate yet. 30 more seconds, they'll have that available, and then they'll feel a little more comfortable about potentially taking a fight. But here's Ogre, being out front Fnatic here and all alone. He's got to be careful and maybe consider hiding it out for a bit and waiting to see. And for the rest of the squad, especially for the assassin crew, I'd say, of Storm Spirit and Queen of Pain, they'd love to find anyone trying to linger out on their own for a quick pickoff here. And Afo Ninja, he is here, but if he shows himself, he'll have to be careful as they want to put their attention on him, and being able to burst him down with those Orchids could be relatively easy.
Yeah, we may see the tempo of this game slow down a little bit as Trixie finds his level 11, looks towards an Aghanim Scepter, has the point booster, and well on the way to the Ogre Club, but not there quite yet. Quap, I would imagine, just wants to move into a Scythe of Vice. That'll help her tank up a little bit, really help those beef up those right clicks, and of course give her a lot of utility. But we'll see where she wants to go. Now Blink Dagger out on the Naga Siren. But while we have a lull in the action here, Coddle Guy, you're asking about how do we pronounce this Storm Spirit's name, and I've got a treat for you, sir.
Let me hear it.
So here we go. We've got the American version.
Valix.
Valix. That's how we've been saying it.
Okay, and now we've got the official version.
Valix.
Valix indeed.
All right, so it's Valix. It's just a long A. 2 A's together just means you drag it out.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, sir. The more you know, right? BKB on the Queen of Pain. So gonna just tank up a little bit, find yourself some magic immunity, and not be so susceptible to the stuns. All right.
All right, well, they clear out a couple of Treants here in the mid lane. Compass Gaming gather up here. This is pretty much the biggest lull in the game we've seen thus far, as both teams recognize they might need to take it a little more timidly. I think Compass Gaming have recognized at this point that they'd love to push the game a little bit longer. Their Wraith King could be the true dark horse for their team, building into a carry. He does have that Maelstrom complete. There's your Ogre Club picked up in stash. Imagine that that's going to be put into a BKB to prevent any heavy magic damage coming his way from your Skywrath, from your Queen of Pain, and, well, from your Storm Spirit. So a very valuable pickup indeed. And, well, it looks like Roche is nearly up. They're kind of lingering around the pit area, but they're going to take the time instead to go through the enemy jungle.
Yeah, and they may look to converge onto Volix down in the bottom lane. He's now picked up his casual Ogre Club, so feeling the benefits of some extra strength, but we'll just TP home. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Gorak gets blinked on, orchided. He will mech and try and TP home. Huge TP reaction, but Tumbaman will burn that 10-second BKB, moves through the tree line, TP's home, but got him. Oh, man. A little risky there. If he had found him out, that ensnare would have gone right through the Black King bar.
Yeah, indeed. And obviously, Naga couldn't just pull out a song, given that they did pull the BKB right there. She could right there, but she didn't.
Went for the net, and Jerax, he'll get netted back home, and, well, that was a close
If they really wanted that support, she could have probably pulled out a song instead.
I think projectile time, though.
Yeah.
That was so close that I don't know. I don't know that you can really fault the Naga for going for that one. Yeah. Maybe half a second longer or earlier, and that would have been an easy kill.
This diverts attention. Mid lane Fnatic's doing a assault here on this tier 2 tower, and with all those TPs to the top lane, no one can rotate back here to defend it, so they have to hand it over, and the last hit's going to be picked up from the Storm Spirit. So now Trixie bringing some farm. Look at this. He is going for an Agnum's build on this Faceless Void.
Yep. He'll be looking to lower the cooldown on that ultimate and just be able to use it a bit more. And it's sort of what their team fight's built around, so I think very warranted here as Storm continues to find some farm. But Tumbaman hiding in the tree line will make it back to safety. The Orchid on the Prophet has been completed now, so Gorak ready to give him a taste of their own medicine.
I agree. And I also agree that this is one of those few games that Faceless Void can build an Agnum Scepter, realizing that his team is much more surrounded by what the Chronosphere, what it's going to be able to impact in these fights. And having it more often means that they can make more fights happen, given that the Skywrath Mage will have his also Mystic Flare ready to go. Queen of Pain's ultimate still has a pretty significant cooldown, but, given if she considers an Ags in the future, I don't think that's going to be the case, but pretty much any opportunity to dish out that extra damage from Sonic Wave will be very beneficial to them.
Selfish.
Yeah, the Ags upgrade is definitely pretty worthwhile. Ups the damage by a huge margin, takes it down to a 40-second cooldown. Maybe something she'll look towards next. It's also great because it gives you a lot of extra stats
But the problem is Wraith King, he's already building the early makings of a BKB, so how great is it going to be for how long? Maybe a sheep or some sort of additional lockdown outside of that BKB time might be better. As he continues to tank up, the Sonic Wave is only going to go so far, so we might consider just more overall damage as well, being a ranged hero outside of that Chronosphere. That could be nice too.
And we also can't forget that she was changed in this patch now. Her base attack time was lowered a little bit, so she does have a little more potential as just a right clicker, so maybe moving into something like a Mjolnir and starting to commence her as more of a carry. Even a Scotty could be an option if that's more the route that Fnatic want to take it.
That is theory crafting 101, I guess, and she could end up just proving us wrong, and we'll be like, well, whatever. Anyway. Mid lane here, they congregate, and we're looking to push back, and for Fnatic, the game plan is to try to go on this top tier 2. That would be their ideal target. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of things, you got Gorak doing his own thing in the opponent's jungle, maybe looking to sneak out and get a little rat action himself. It's Volix, though, who's going to be nearby, spot out those Treants, and maybe see if he can catch the Nature's Prophet, but no, not. They're going to return to the lane instead.
Yeah, he's very close to his BKB, a time when he shouldn't take too much risk. Just sit back, farm up that extra few hundred gold you need with this wave, and now he'll have his recipe, and that'll be good news for him. Agnum Scepter completed on the Void. 2 key items for this Radiant side, and look at this. Ogre. He's going to be moving into an Agnum Scepter of his own, possibly. It is a point booster, so I guess it could be a Bloodstone, but I'm hoping it's the Ags.
Yeah, Ags is
a lot more fun.
I would say, not just fun, it's a lot more useful. I mean,
yes,
the cooldowns on these Fire Blasts become so low that you can time it out nicely and you just get a serious amount of lockdown to work with. But, falls in the same category like we were talking about with Queen of Pain. Once these heroes start getting BKBs, really there's not much Ogre can do until those BKBs do expire, and you're kind of just waiting around with your club, hoping you can make some sort of impact.
Definitely. So Gorak, he's down bottom. He will just TP towards the mid lane, and everyone's just focused around farming right now. Everything's quieted down, and both teams are looking to complete core items. Art's about 100 gold away from his BKB now. Brewmaster hanging on to that Aegis, though, will expire pretty... Oh, no, they just finished off Rush. Never mind. So plenty of time left on the Aegis. But he has 2,600 gold, so maybe looking towards an Ags, a BKB of his own. A couple of options there, and...
They're waiting with the combo up here in the top lane on the side of Fnatic. If someone was to push forward on Compass Gaming, they would love to spring the trap, but Not going to be so lucky. Very elusive is Compass Gaming as they quickly pull back. Oh, just as I say that, Gorak shows up. Hi, how's it going? Jump in, slam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. We're going to burst you down and see you later. That got aggressive real quick.
That is just real unfortunate. That's just bad luck for the Prophet. He's just hopping in there hoping to farm, and silly Yugi, he'll spring the trap, and that'll be the end of him. So, after Ninja, he'll get initiated on. Jerax is there with the silence, but the follow-up is non-existent. Volix, he comes flying in. The Orchid's there, and that's a free Aegis of the Immortal.
Pull back. They don't have the Orchid or any man on Jerax to really commit a secondary kind of a kill. Plus, they know that Compass Gaming are rotating in, so of the wiser, they decide to pull back. But as said, the Aegis is now down. They will not have the benefit of controlling the pace and deciding when it's a good time to fight. They already lose the benefit of that extra life.
Now the bottom tier 2 tower gets denied by the one true king. Only one outer tower remaining for KPG. It is this tier 2 at the top lane. And now we'll see Fnatic make some rotations. Ogre ready to drop some stuns. Queen of Pain, BKB at the ready.
Naga is so close to level 11.
Hammer's ready. Gorak, it'll get dropped. They'll smack him in the face, and Soul Burn should be enough to bring him down at this point. It is. They'll take him out with style.
That's back-to-back takedowns from Gorak. That's rough.
And look at this top tier 2 tower. It's getting low. There is a glyph available for KPG if they want to try to make the hold here. Alpha Ninja hiding in the tree line, but they won't even glyph it. Tower goes down, and KPG, they'll just make a defense at the high ground.
Definitely do. So they pull back, and Naga so close to level 11. Would love to get that before pulling up the song, just to make that cooldown that much lower. It's a whole minute difference if she can get that level 11. So for now, though, high ground defense, jump in, nice chrono, catches out on PSM, gets bursted down with Mystic Flare, but the sleep from goddamn right there to try to slow his roll. Turns around, Ice Path Macrofire here on Trixie, but looking to soak up as much damage as possible. Already have they taken down 2, however. Brew looking to push on 4. They take down Jerax. Volix takes down, nice double kill for him, sir. Oh, Trixie trying to make his retreat, can't. And now it's going to be a 2-for-2 trade in the end. No real significant damage on the tower itself, so really we just kind of come up even, with the exception that they actually take down the Faceless Void, maybe a slight edge for Compass Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. Also just a great defense in general. Trixie getting a little too excited with the Chronosphere there. You got to catch the Naga if you want to dive something like that. Jakiro is not really that high-value target to burn the Chrono just for a solo Jakiro. If they could have secured the kill, sure would have been okay. Not a bad way to start off the fight, but need to catch the Brew so that he can't split, catch the Naga so she can't stop you dead in your tracks, and that could have been a completely different fight. Boogie over the tree line. Thought he may jump over for a little bit of RNG onto Arts, but no, won't go for it. And also the gem hit the ground, but was recovered. Arts picked up Gotham's gem.
Good for them. That's map control they want to be able to hold on to because it's on Fnatic now to continue to add that pressure. They don't want to risk Compass Gaming getting to that pinnacle point in the late game where their Wraith can get a problem here. Jumping in on Boogie. Boogie gets cut out with the ensnare. Silence comes in from Jerax, but not going to be enough to aid their Ogre friend. And now they're looking to hunt out. They want to catch that Jerax, but Jerax already TP'd out from the high ground, and he makes his escape.
Yep, he will survive, and everyone else from Fnatic should be able to survive as well. Volix is going to cut this mid lane here, and we need to be careful. We'll be able to zip-zap and make it back to safety. But a bit of a close call. Meanwhile, in the Radiant jungle, Gorak gets initiated on. It's Orchid on Orchid action, but in comes Trixie. He's there with the follow-up. Mystic Flare to fly through, brings down the Prophet. We're going to PSM, but Alpha Ninja comes in, takes a silence to the face. Won't be able to get off the split, but now uses the BKB, and that'll bring down Jerax. Trixie just hops into the tree line, looking to TP home. Centaurs will not connect with the hoof stomp, and KPG will come out victorious once more.
Yep, they will hope to come on top with this momentum here, maybe go for a push ideally. There's actually a convenient DD rune that was, I thought it was just 2. Is it just taken right there? Where the hell did that DD rune go? Yeah, whatever. Anyways, Wraith King picks up his own Basher right there, looking to build forward into the Abyssal. This is where things start getting scary. He's got level 3 ultimate by now. He's level 18 actually, and he's looking to keep the fights happening here. He can do it at least once per fight, and the damage just continues to roll on in. Things slowly going to start getting scary here for Fnatic. But, jump in. Volix looking to go on Arts here, seeing if they can manage to bring him down. He's going to have 2 lives to work with, so look at the durability. Finally, they're able to take him down, and it looks like they do want to go for round 2 there. There's your Chronosphere follow-up for the secondary kill. Can they take down? His Royal Majesty will force to take a knee, as he does end up getting dropped. 70 seconds, no buyback if Fnatic want to continue to add pressure here in the mid lane.
And it's also a wasted primal split. Now they're going on to got him, and there's just nothing this Brewmaster can do. He's forced to head for the hills. They ping him out. They know it'll expire soon, and they'll throw down the Mystic Flare maybe a little bit too early. They force out a BKB as well onto Ninja. That's now down to 8 seconds, and they got the gem off that, if I'm not mistaken. Who picked it up? No, maybe not. Who's carrying the gem? Ah, yeah, Boogie. He's now the proud new owner of this shiny new gem.
Here we go, looking to go knocking at the mid lane door as they ascend the staircase and start making some damage happen here on the tier 3. There is a glyph available, and, well, on cue, they're going to pop it right there. So, still, though, happy to contest and add damage. We still got 25 seconds before Wraith King's here. They're looking for Rax, baby, and they're going for it right now. Trixie's got the Mask of Madness. He already popped it out right there, but here comes some big damage, and they should be able to clear out this mid lane set of Rax. So, wow. Big swing coming in for Fnatic, getting that pickoff on the Wraith King without backup nearby, without their support. Now going to try to slow him down with the song. That was a fantastic turn of events for them.
Great stuff for Fnatic, and Nature's Prophet was able to grab a tier 2 tower in the bottom lane while all that was happening, but a very small consolation considering they lost their mid lane of barracks, and also their position 1 was stuck in the grave for that entire time. Has that 10-second BKB, but wasn't able to use it to any avail. Compliments of that Chronosphere coming out from Trixie. So, good stuff all around the board. Boogie very close to his Aghanim Scepter now, about 300 gold away. Matumba Man has a full Scythe of Ice with 2,000 gold to spare, but possibly the biggest of them. Now we've got a full Bloodstone on the Storm Spirit following the Black King bar. Still only 8 charges, but that is good stuff. Big KPG, they move into Roche, and this is 3rd Roche, so Chi's going to be coming out, and it doesn't look like Fnatic will get here in time to really contest.
We'll be able to take it down. I'm actually curious who's going to be the holder. It's telling you Brew again, and it is. Oh, Trixie jumps in, and is like, nice Aegis you got there. But, again, Naga nearby with the song, trying to slow their roll. Great counter to the Faceless Void that we don't see quite enough right there. Ice Path Microfire on the return right there. Bears pulled out right now. They're looking to take down the Faceless Void, who's actually orchid it up, and they do. But Tama Man, unstoppable as he clears out another. Valix trying to get away and cannot. 2-for-2 trade. Mystic Flare return, not going to do a whole lot of damage, but Tama Man should fall as well. That's also a gem on the deck as they do ping it out. A 3-for-3 trade, though, in the end of it. Was the Aegis already used on that fight?
Brewmaster still has it. He was split that whole time, and he lived.
Good fight for them, I would say, but, you know, still with the racks down, that's pressure on them to try to capitalize on this engagement.
Oh, wow, they'll do some damage to the King, and that'll proc the Reincarnation. He'll blink forward, but won't be able to interrupt the TP home. Very minor little pickup there. That'll be up in just a minute's time, so no big deal, but still giving Arts a run for his money. They did eat the cheese, but now things still looking rough for KPG. Fnatic have a very sizable lead still, despite some of those streaks getting ended. I guess that hurts Volix more than really anyone else is now, who'll go down to 6 Bloodstone charges, but certainly we'll be able to recover as everyone goes back to
I'm rattling my brain a bit as if maybe there could have been a different pickup instead of Bloodstone at this point in the game. Given that pretty much most of these fights could end up being bloodbaths, you know, you could just be losing charges as quick as you get them. You know, Lincoln Sphere could have been potentially something. Even if you're not using it for yourself, you can, of course, with that active ability, put it on someone else on your team. Could have been a little bit of extra defense to have, but regardless, though, they're looking to make it work. They did strike first. They got some nice damage in on the mid lane. It's on Compass Gaming, though, if they're going to pull off fights like that they need to be able to take objectives as soon as it's done. And we saw last time they couldn't quite get it done.
Yep. McGee's got himself an Aghanim Scepter, so now he's got that unrefined Fire Blast. Only 700 mana. Oh, wow, what a bargain.
It's definitely not 0 mana, let me tell you that. That's what I've come to learn.
That's true, yeah. It scales down, though. It's good stuff, and now Ogre has a lot of burst potential. If you get lucky with multicast, if you get a 2x into a 2x, for example, that's also just a lot of lockdown time that you can put on a single target. So now the RNG Master will be praying to the RNGesus himself. And he's really going to have to start praying as this smoke will get revealed. They'll come in on him, but he jukes up, jives right, and it'll be enough to survive. Up top, Gorik gets caught in a Mystic Flare Chronosphere combo once more.
Great positioning from Fnatic to turn the corner like that. And Compass Gaming are constantly like, where the hell are they? They're trying to catch up, and now they're bursting through the lane. They're revealed by this creep, so let's see what kind of engagement they consider going for here. Trixie does not have the Chronosphere, even with the Agnums. It's still got another 38 seconds before it's up and available, and it looks like Compass Gaming are hungry for a fight. And, well, they're looking to get something going. Meanwhile, caught from behind right there. They catch out another, man. Fnatic just picking at him from up and down and left. They don't really know finding the engagement they actually want right here. Another grab right there as they take down the Jakiro. Faceless Void. Excellent snag there from Trixie. Leaves only 2 alive. They're 2 precious cores now.
There's no TP on Arts.
Yeah, forced to hide out and just kind of wait it out a bit. And really, he can't get a TP unless he wants to consider selling out that Midas, which he might have to.
Yeah, he will for the TP, and I think there was really no choice there. He wasn't going to be able to dog it back to the base fast enough. And now looking at the buyback scenario, okay, they're probably all right, coming up within 10 to 15 seconds. That still really hurts, though. And if that's the power of the Naga Siren. If you can lock her down with the Orchid before she gets Song, that's the difference between a good team fight and her interrupting all of your damage. The Glyph comes out almost straight away. Trixie's ultimate has cooled down, and as the heroes do respawn, Fnatic will play it safe once more and back that train up.
Yep, Gorok trying to release some of the pressure here from the bottom lane, but he is going to get pressure potentially. Looking to come in from behind Jerix. And Queen of Pain jump in, get a few auto attacks, time out that Orchid, Mystic Flare, and Gorok, see you later, as we've seen a couple of times this game, getting caught out on the side. Fnatic well aware on what the game plan is. They see him show up, and they go ahead and rip him down. And look at this even spread here. 2 on top, 1 on mid, 2 on bottom as they try to split push elsewhere, but there's your blinking from Naga trying to get out the ensnare, but Jerix pops out his Ghost Scepter and quickly looking to make a retreat, and will do so. So very nice work here coming out from Fnatic, and you know, it's more pressure here on Compass Gaming to try to get what they want. Trixie looking to make the jump in. Oh, trying to be cheeky, maybe going for the courier, but now he's 1 versus 4. Assistance coming in from Queen of Pain, but yeah, this is going to get ugly real quick. But yeah, nice
fire,
chrono.
the macro.
He can't move.
Oh, no.
What's happening?
Oh, Trixie, he burns down to death, but this is space created up in the top lane. PSM will get initiated on in this tier 3 tower. She's going to fall, baby. Burn, baby, burn. And the TP actually gets canceled out. Doesn't want to go straight into the Storm Spear. They don't have a glyph, so it's a pretty worthy exchange. Even Void just able to use the chrono to buy some time. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, they're still fighting Matumba Man. Sure, they'll get a kill here, but is that really worth losing another lane of barracks? Got him, will get initiated on, and he will fall. And now Fnatic, it looks like they'll basically seal this game. 2 lanes of barracks is pretty hard to come back from, Cattle Guy.
Yeah, yep. Look at Gorok jumping in, Sprout, loving the trees, but not loving the Mystic Flare. Boom, gets blasted immediately, and well, Gorok goes down back-to-back time. That was a short-lived life if I ever saw one. Immediate buyback. He's like, God damn it, I didn't even get to do anything that fight. I want to get something going for myself. Looking to push on forward. His Majesty just can't catch up. And you know what's nice? I was worried for the late game on how this Wraith King has so much damage potential and really what can Fnatic do. But Fnatic can juke and jive like no one else, and Wraith King is just like, I can't catch anyone. They're all moving around so quick. They're in different lanes. They're moving around with their ball lightnings, with their blink daggers. Even Ogre Magi has a blink dagger. You got their time walk. Every single person on this team is just oh so elusive. Even the 4 staff on Skywrath Mage, they're slippery.
It's like Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman, you know? He's just standing there trying to juke it.
That's boxing, kids.
Trying to punch him, and Storm Spear is just zipping around in circles.
A lot of people out there might not know what sports really are, so you know.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
I'm trying my best.
Juking and yeah.
What is it? He
bob and weave, you know?
Yeah, he stings like a bee and bites
float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
There you go.
Don't butcher that one. He stings like a butterfly, floats like a butterfly.
I knew he floated. Well, we've got Wraith King with an Abyssal Blade, so that's good stuff. Arts actually has a big lockdown ability to cut through these BKBs, which is a big issue. There are 2 Black King bars out, and maybe now they can lock down those 2 elusive butterflies, as we've appropriately named them. Even BOT's up on the Storm Spirit, so Valek's looking to just move around and find some split push action. And it worked out well for him last time. Maybe they can do it once more. Next, Roche, I don't know, coming up for a little while, so I haven't gotten to that RNG timer yet.
I think that's the safe bet, though. Fnatic are going to wait for the Roche, get a hold of that extra life, and then go for the final blow right there on the bottom lane. Boom! We did a punch animation. You guys didn't see it. We just, like, fucking, I threw a punch. Boom!
Jabbed somebody. Yeah, Queen of Pain going into a Demon Edge. So this is interesting. Matumba Man looking for either a Daedalus or an MKB, and which I want to say MKB, but there's no evasion on the other side. So True Strike No, not the most
still
useful,
really
but
intense damage.
a lot of damage, yeah, that's true. And a little bit of attack speed does also synergize.
Oh, the brew.
with that.
The brew evasion is what
Oh,
they want to be able
sure.
to. Yeah, so yeah, the Monkey King bar works against that. So now this Queen of Pain, taking advantage of that recent buff in the patch, will be able to do some serious right-click damage. So, oh, jump forward. Arts cannot get a hold of him. That's what I'm talking about. He jumps in and he's like, oh, I can't get anyone. Look at them just kite around him. They're making him look a fool, but oh no. Valix, tempting fate here. 4-step forward, not going to be so lucky, but Trixie goes from behind, gets the Chronosphere off, but with that BKB, he don't care about no song. He's going to keep fighting, but oh, slippery here as PSM tries to get away. Ice Path, nicely timed in the corner. Trixie, no one puts Baby in the corner, but they can put Faceless Void there and beat the hell out of him as they do get it done. Double kill now for His Majesty, but they want to keep the pressure happening here. Continuing on, Valix now, back in the fray, looking to fight it out, and they keep jumping on through. Matumbo Man jumps on in, gets the scream off. 3-for-2 trade all day as they continue to jump back. Actually, was there a buyback on
Yeah, there was a buyback on the Storm, and yeah, that's just not really what Fnatic were looking for. It was an okay exchange at the beginning, but great initiation from Arts using that Abyssal Blade to start things off. But look at the damage in the base there. Tier 4 is getting pretty soft here. And this is turning into kind of a nail-biter cuddle, guy. 34-24. It's not over yet. Compass Gaming showing us they have a sign of life following that fight. But Fnatic, they'll continue to pressure this bottom lane. Matumba Man, he will have his MKB if he wants to pick it up now. And Storm, actually still on 9 Bloodstone charges. So he's been doing pretty well. Looks like he'll be moving into a Scythe of Ice of his own. They find Art and Puddin' Pop forward, but Ninja's there. Uses his BKB, goes hard on the Matumba Man.
That's all it takes. You jump in, you divert attention. They're forced to pull out the BKBs, and when it's time to get the hell out of there, they can do so. And now those BKB charges are just brought down lower and lower. You got 6 seconds left on Wraith King, and remember, kids, you cannot buy a new one. That's it. This is your one and only BKB.
Don't let PPD fool you. You can't get a new one. Yeah, so it's that time when the BKBs get a little bit less effective, but at that new 5-second floor, that's a pretty big buff for the late game lighting there. So Naga Siren looking at probably a BKB of her own. Gorak, what's he moving into? Is that an Aghanims? What's he doing with a point booster? That's a little peculiar.
On who now?
the Prophet.
Yeah, you can do Aghanims. I mean, I suppose that if you slam down the R button, it would relieve a lot of pressure.
Aghanims. So usually Aghanims is regarded as a farming tool. You know, it reduces the cooldown, so you can spam it out a little more and really rack up a lot of farm. It comes out when you just want to constantly pressure the lanes and spam the ulti. Late game, that's one of the first items to start replacing.
If he's trying to bring some
right-click Scotty, that might be a better option.
Just accidentally misclicked. I think he got myself out of the game.
All right, well, don't worry. Coddle Guy's coming back in. Melee racks up in the top lane will get finished off. They trade their Trixie for it, but I guess not the worst trade ever. After Ninja goes in, he'll kind of get kited around. Jarek's trying to TP home. He'll be successful in his plight. Matumba Man, well, he'll blink into the tree line. There you go. There's the TP, and Gorak, he'll find him, but won't be able to interrupt it in time. I like that call, though. Maybe it will be a Scotty coming out so that he can beef up and go for the right clicks. He is pretty squishy right now. Not a lot of stats to go around.
Yep, and they trying to relieve as much pressure as possible here, and they just continue to bulldoze on through on trying to maybe consider making a migration over. Roche is back up here, and both teams would love to get a hold of this Aegis.
Everybody loves Cheddar.
Move on in. Here we go. It's going to be Ninja, the first one to make the engagement here. And look at that. An E-Blade now picked up from the Skywrath Mage. Do remember, E-Blade is now a projectile, so can be destroyed.
Yes.
And with some Blink Daggers and on Compass Gaming side, got to make sure you get a proper lockdown to be able to land it. And here we go. Roche is actually going to fall here. No contention whatsoever from the side of Fnatic. The top lane, Gorak getting caught here. Valix and him looking to go toe-to-toe right now as he retreats up into the jungle. Can you stop him from TPing? You already used the Vortex. No! Second Vortex to fly out right there, and he does take him down. Very nice work coming out from Valix.
Yeah, he
gets a killing spree.
Now picked up the Shiva's Guard, not going for the extra control coming from the Scythe of Ice, but we'll just get a little bit of extra armor and a big AoE slow coming out. So Dire's side, Jakiro has gone for the Veil of Discord, and item-wise following Roche, it is the cheese on the Wraith King, and after Ninja, he's the one to take the Aegis of the Immortal. But we'll see initiation break out in the mid lane here. Song of the Siren flies through, but Trixie, he knows no song with the BKB on. They'll press forward, finish off the Jakiro, but out comes the Scream. That's a dead Naga Siren. She'll buy back. Art getting a lot of silence coming out. The Primal Split is flown through. He'll be able to eat the cheese, use his BKB, and he will survive. Art's still with his ultimate off cooldown. Will be able to come back to life. Jumps onto Matumba Man. Will start chopping him down, but takes a multi-cast to the face.
They're kiting him.
And he has no BKB, so that's going to be rough for him. Jerax kiting around, got him. They can kill the Naga. This will be a dieback. Jerax dropping the hammer, but the team is there, and it'll cost him his life as they press forward. So still a good exchange for Fnatic, though.
No, absolutely. And you just see it there. Just continuing to try to kite out this Wraith King, not allowing him to unleash his true fury here. But I think Fnatic need to consider getting back on the objectives. They got one more set of racks here on the bottom. It's been quite a while since they've tried to be able to push the base, but I think that's more because Compass Gaming are not making it easy. So, but now they get the slight benefit, I'd say, of that team fight, but still an Aegis on hand here for Ninja. They'll look to make advantage of that, I would imagine, before it does expire. We are going to get a timeout here on the field as we have a brief pause, but there Jarek says we're ready to go, and we're going to move on.
Let's do it. Let's get into this one, boys. Arts, he's on the high ground. He's the gem carrier. No Abyssal, no BKB, no Blink. They'll find him on the high ground. Hex to start it off. He may have the Mjolnir buff, but
big.
It will not be enough. He'll go down once more. Wrath of Nature flies through, and they'll be forced back. They're just too squishy.
Okay, jump back, get those resources back up, and look to take a fight if you can possibly within a minute's time before he gets to reincarnate again.
Look at the base here, Kadokai. These tier 4 towers, they are not having a good time. One of them's about to fall, and yeah, this is just rough. This is the power of 2 lanes of barracks down early on. Fnatic can just keep taking fights outside of the base, kind of have these break evens, and just keep KPG busy, and the creeps will essentially do the work for him.
Yep. And we've seen time and time again, Gorok doesn't even have the room to kind of put pressure out there, try to get any sort of rat split push, because when you're going against, you know, a Storm Spirit, a Queen of Pain, the rat option is pretty much not a valid option. So
Pause.
we're going to have another pause here, as Traxy is going to need
Traxy. You're all over the place today. You've called Korok at least twice.
I'm delirious. It was a long day of casting.
It really
yesterday.
was, dude. You went hard. We had those long-ass Alliance games.
It was like 4 Alliance games. Each of them were
an
hour.
An hour at least. Some of them were a little bit longer.
And then maybe like 20 minutes to try to put down some food. Not even that. And then I had to hop in for Greg for Canada Cup.
Yeah, all Canada. You're picking up the Gerg slack.
Yeah, and then that was a best of 3 slaughter fest, exhausting as hell. What was it, like 120 kills in 45 minutes?
Yeah, that was game 2.
That was just one of the 3 games. It
It
was crazy. But enough about me. It's about these teams. They got to get one step closer to Kiev. And with Fnatic able to secure a win here, it could push them forward into those tiebreaker situations.
They need it.
There's a hope. It's slim, but it's there. They want to get that ticket. They want to fly to Ukraine, god damn it, and they want to get closer. We got, what, $255,000 already contributed to the prize pool. You can add to that right now if you get that Starladder ticket. Get all those sweet items.
It is the value ticket. That is the one thing that you can always say. You say what you will about Starladder, the matches, but it is a value ticket. There are so many damn
valuable.
good games.
There is fantastic games to be played. Top lane, though, Trixie trying to play a game of his own as he looks to go on Ninja, who already has BKB pop. Now Art's looking to come in from behind. Mjolnir's going to be procced on himself. Can Valix get away from this one? He makes the leap away, desperately trying to get out. His BKB already as well, and he does. Nice TP escape from him. They're flirting with danger right there, trying to make an engagement, but they do manage to slippery their way out. Slip their way out.
Slippy slappy.
I'm just going to retire.
They will make it out, but KPG really showing their power right here, and it just will take one good fight, one big team wipe, and maybe, just maybe, they can do it. I don't think all hope is lost for KPG, though. They need to do something sooner rather than later, especially while they are still hanging on to the Aegis of the Immortal. Cheese has been eaten, but that second life on the Brewmaster will certainly come in handy. He's picked up his BOTs now, and Arts, what are you working on, buddy? That's a Demon Edge, probably an MKB on the way. And wow, this Wraith King, man, he's starting to hit hard and fast, critting for 1,000 on the Centaurs. Ouch.
Yeah, so if he does manage to get a hold and gets the relative lockdown from his team, he can really open up some serious pain. Jumping from Vodnix, but he quick in and out. And he knows that
BKB,
he knows when it's bad timing. Well, it's obvious that he's at that point that his BKB is at 5 seconds, but you know, now you can freely use it when it's off of cooldown. So
So
he's not too worried about that.
Now Storm probably looking for the Scythe, has an ultimate orb on the way out. We'll see initiation onto Trixie, or pardon me, onto the Ogre. Trixie's there, got him. He'll get chopped down. Hex out onto Art. Trixie does not want to go blow for blow, though. He's on the run. He'll take an Abyssal Blade smash to the face. Now Volix coming around from the high ground, goes on to PSM rather. We'll be able to find that solo kill. Trixie will make it out, but the scream from Matumba Man won't do much onto Arts. Will be enough to bring down Ninja. Now Volix on the back line. He's got no mana. He'll use the Shivas, but what can he do? He's just going to scoot to the low ground. Look at this cheeky bastard. Now he'll go forward. Ninja gets silenced.
Oh, no, Primal Split. He can't get it off. He does have buyback, though. 90-second death timer here, and I expect him to pop it out here momentarily because all the others are dead, and they have no buyback. This leaves just His Majesty to try to hold his own throne, and maybe the Brew, I guess the Jester of the Kingdom, will try to make something happen, but they make a jump in on Arts. They're trying to catch him from all sides. Look at this, trying to get away, but he can't. Trixie jumps in. There's your first life down. The buyback does come out here from Afro, but here we go. Happy to go toe-to-toe here. This is going to be the fall of the king. Buyback available, and he uses it, but the throne already starting to get pressure as they look to move on in. They want to secure no megas. They want to just keep fighting. There's your chrono. This could be it. They're going to be able to lock him down, and well, this is going to be a wrap here. Fnatic with their new, I don't want to say new roster, but with these new stand-ins. Putting on a reasonable show here, and what a draft I thought would be questionable in the late game have definitely made it work with how elusive and slippery they are.
Yeah, King Leoric has fallen stuck in the grave for 100 seconds. Song of the Siren, just a little bit of that. God damn! You're going to have to go to sleep before you finish off our throne. We will defend the king to the bitter end, and GG comes out from Trixie. That'll be the end of the first game. Another long one, but it is Fnatic that come out ahead. KPG give them a run for their money, and, well, they'll have to carry this momentum into the next matchup. It'll be Fnatic versus Hellraisers, and yet again, Coddle Gay, they absolutely need these wins.
I mean, we can't stress it enough. You're at that point, and it's clear that Fnatic, they couldn't get a lot of games in earlier in Starladder, so right now they're trying to get all their dues done, and they would love to make all those dues W's.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the double Orchid, I was a little skeptical. I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit of a gamble, very squishy, and I think there was a chance that they could have gotten locked down, but they used them right. They were aggressive. They found the initiation, and Storm got that snowball rolling. By the end, he was looking pretty good. Volix was 12, 4, and 13, and Matumba Man also a similar record of 11, 3, and 15.
Yeah, the important thing is they were just very elusive. They used that to their benefit, all being ranged. It was Trixie to pick up that Aghanim Scepter, set things up with the Chronosphere, and, well, they got everything they wanted. And fortunately for Compass Gaming, it was more of scrambling around, trying to take advantage of a good opportunity, but it just wasn't there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have a break here, guys. A quick one at that. Our next match scheduled to start about 10 minutes ago, and we'll be getting right into it.